I think also like a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out which tech role is for them. What the advice I got when I was starting out was just to, pick one, run with it, and down the line you can easily transition into any other role that you might find interesting. My name is Ibitein, Keren, Iyalla. Some of you might know me as 10 or IB, but I'm a 400 level software engineering student at Babcock University. I'm also the co-lead for the cloud track at GDSC Babcock.
So talk about the activity you are being spotlighted for.
Okay, so primarily I'm a front-end engineer. So I currently have 2 years plus of front-end engineering experience. I've worked on a lot of projects, both with like friends at school and actual, projects.
So what impact would you say you've made or any recognition you've received in this area?
Okay, so when it comes to like recognitions and awards, I've not received anyone from like any institution or anything. But what I also consider as recognition is like recognition from like people that I talk to. So I have a lot of people that I'm trying to like get into tech, and I kind of mentor them and like show them the way. So when I get feedback from them, like that's enough recognition for me rather.
So future goals, what does Ibitien have in mind?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I'm a front-end engineer, but in the future I want to go more into cloud roles and full stack roles. So I'm currently like learning and taking a lot of courses so I can transition into that field. I also want to attend like a lot of tech events this year. I want my networking game to be on point. So those are my goals for this year.
All right, so what words of encouragement do you have for people in this field?
Okay, so I think the first thing is just to be consistent. Like you can't go far if you're not consistent. So that's the major thing, be consistent. I think also like a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out which tech role is for them. What the advice I got when I was starting out was just to, pick one, run with it, and down the line you can easily transition into any other role that you might find interesting. So for example, when I started front-end engineering, I started it because we took a course in 200 level on web development, and I found it interesting. I wasn't sure if it was going to be for me long term, but I just wanted to get into the tech field, so I did that. And now that I've kind of like gained some experience, I've gotten interested in like back-end development and cloud, so now I can easily transition into these roles because I already have experience in the tech field. I don't know if that makes sense.
So tell us more about Ibitien. What are some unexpected skills or talents that we might not know about?
Okay. Many people don't know this, but I play a lot of instruments. I know how to play the trumpet, the guitar. Well, I think that's it. But those two, I know how to play those two. And I'm also like heavily involved in filmmaking. So I like the whole process of like screenwriting and making films. So like that's what I do mostly in my spare time.
On the last note, what advice would you give to your younger self when you were first starting out?
Okay, so another weird thing about me is that I actually got into tech in SS1, but I never stuck to any particular track. So I know I did a little bit of mobile development, I did a little bit of web development, I did a little bit of everything, but I never really like chose a particular one and stuck to it. So by SS3, like I knew a little about everything, but I didn't have like concrete experience or evidence in any field. So I would say if I were to like have a conversation with my younger self, I'll tell her to be more consistent in a particular track and focus on it and gain experience, build projects, so that you will go further down the line.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for having me.